big as a damn, as big as a freaking corporate office. Some of y'all are winning. So the question that you must ask yourself is, why is it that some people in the black community are losing and some people in the black community are winning? Why don't the people who are losing get more lessons from the people who are winning? Last night I was in Philadelphia and I went to the 20-year anniversary for the Urban Youth Racing School. I sat at a table with some big shot type dudes. One of the guys that I sat with was a guy out of Los Angeles who is a financial manager for professional athletes. This man, could shit out a $100 bill, or this man has so much money that spending 50 grand, 100 grand ain't nothing but a thing for him. There's another brother I saw sitting on my right who was the CEO of the Air Jordan brand, which makes up between $3 and $4 billion a year. I talked to these black men. They didn't come from Mars. They didn't speak a foreign language. They didn't have some magical superpowers. They were just brothers who had some sense and understood the importance of economic intelligence in their own liberation. These were guys who, if you tell them you're going to go out and party at the club and be out all night and go get high on drugs and sit around and complain about white people, they probably wouldn't join you. They were the guys who would say, no, let's have a business meeting and figure out how we can start an entrepreneurial venture that's going to allow us to make some more money. So what you got to understand here is a lot of this economic struggle with black folks, a lot of it does come down to mindset. A lot of us are stuck in a slave mentality because every black person ain't losing. So, and they got more room in the winner's circle. Like some of y'all think, well, no, they just only let certain black people through because they only let the privileged black people through and the rest of us can't get through, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that's true sometimes, but I'm going to tell you there's a lot of stuff that we just don't do that white people have never told us that we can't do. They've never told us we can't read books. They haven't outlawed that yet. They never told us we can't start businesses. They never told us we can't save our money. They never told us that we can't make an estate plan so that when we die, we're not giving all our money to the IRS. They never told us. We told ourselves we can't do that. Because if I try to go gather a group of black people and say, let's talk about death planning, get big grandma and them and your parents, and let's come together and plan for when somebody dies, so make sure everybody's good. Ain't nobody going to show up to that meeting. Ain't nobody going to be there. But if I was holding a Beyonce concert, everybody would be there. Oh, Beyonce's dancing for the HBCUs, y'all. Go Beyonce, right? That's what y'all get excited about. But you don't get excited about the things that matter, which is why when the things that matter go down, you ain't ready for none of that because you're not preparing for that. Like you're in a football game and you're playing checkers or something. Like I don't know what game you're playing, but you're not playing the power game. You're not playing that game. So with Prince, he was artistic. He was the best artist he could have been. He was an extraordinary activist. And it sounds like he was an extraordinary person and an extraordinary friend. What he was lacking was extraordinary economic intelligence within his camp to ensure that if something did happen to him, that money was going to stay locked down in the black community. I believe that it's not out of the question to say, look, Prince, when you die, man, can you please make sure that, out of all the love that you have for, the activists in Ferguson, for the black community, for all these black causes and organizations, can you put it in your will that you're going to leave $50 million to these organizations so they can teach children for the next generation? Can you do that? Like that would have been the activism I would have encouraged him to do, because, getting mad about stuff and talking about stuff is one thing, but I'd like to see a little bit more. We got to think at that higher level. If you can't, if you can't think at a high altitude, then people can always fly a jet over your head and bomb your facility. If you're not fighting a war in the sky, they can always fly over you and destroy everything you've built. So we must elevate our altitude when it comes to our thinking, or we're going to find ourselves lost. Now I gotta go. I gotta get out of here, guys. Hope you guys have a good day. Again, I'm in D.C., Shiloh Baptist Church tonight at 6 o'clock.